Israel was at peace for 80 years. After Ehud died, the people once again forsook the Lord. He gave them over to a Canaanite king who had a great commander by the name of Sisera. And he had 900 chariots of iron, and he ruled over the people with a harsh hand. After 20 years, the people finally called out to the Lord. During that time, a woman was the judge over Israel. Her name was Deborah. She would sit underneath a palm tree, and all of Israel would come, and she would judge them there. One day she called a man by the name of Barak to come to her. When he did, he said, God has chosen you to free the people. Therefore, find an army of 10,000 men and go to Mount Tabor. And there God will call Sisera to come to you, and he will give them over to you. Barak said, I will go, but only if you come with me. If you do not come with me, I will not go. Deborah said, I will go with you, but if I do, you will win the victory, but God will give the honor of killing Sisera to a woman. So they went and they gathered their army and took them to Mount Tabor. And there they waited for Sisera to come. Sisera heard the rumors that they were there, so he got his 900 chariots of iron and his army and marched towards Mount Tabor. When they came, Deborah looked down and saw them coming and said to Barak, go, fight the battle, for God has given them into your hands. He went down the mountain, and when the two armies met, God caused confusion to come across the army of Sisera. And they started to lose the battle. And a great slaughter started, and finally Sisera realized that his life was in danger, so he ran by foot all the way back to his home country. When he got there, he saw a woman of his country in a tent. She came out and said, come, my Lord, come and hide in my tent. He went in, and she covered him up with a rug. But he said, wait, I'm so thirsty. Could you give me some water? She went and she poured some milk and brought it to him. He drank the milk. And he said, please, sit at your tent door. And if anyone comes looking for them, tell them there is no man inside of your tent, and send them on their way. Then he laid down, and she covered him up with a rug. Because he was exhausted, he fell fast asleep. The woman waited, and finally, when she knew he really was asleep, she took a tent peg and a hammer and quietly went over and knelt down beside of him and hammered the peg through the temple of his head into the tent floor. He died. Soon Barak came and was looking for him, and as he was going by the tent, she went out and said, the man you are looking for is inside the tent. Barak opened up the tent door and looked, and there he was, dead on the floor. God gave a great victory that day, and the people were at peace for 40 years.